Today we are going to solve top k frequent elements. This is another question from the series priority queue, and again this question has been asked in all big tech companies, like you can see here, right? So the intention behind solving this question is again practicing and improving our knowledge of priority queue, right? Especially min heap. Yeah. So without further ado, I'll just explain the question. Question says that you're given an integer array nums and an integer k. Return the k most frequent elements. You may return the answer in any order, right? So basically, uh, how many times 1 is coming? 3 times, right? How many times 2 is coming? 2 times. How many times 3 is coming? 1 time. So what are the elements that are coming the most frequent times? Basically two most frequent times. So 3 and 2, right? So 3 and 2. The frequency of 3 and 2. The element with frequency 3 and 2. So it's 1 and 2 basically. So answer is 1. Here it's on just 1. And if I have to explain this, so 1 is coming 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Yes. 2 is coming 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then 3 is coming 2 times. So these are the two elements that are coming the most k most times, right? Yeah. So how I am going to approach this question, and how I'm going to use min heap to solve this question, right? That is the question. That is the explanation that everyone is waiting for. Okay. So the first thing that I did when I was like trying to understand this question, I was counting the frequency of each element. I was counting the frequency of each element, right? So the frequency of 1 was 3, the frequency of 2 was 2, and the frequency of 3 was 1, right? Then I was checking the frequency, and I was selecting, okay, the among all these three, these are the two frequencies that are coming, that are in the top, right? So how I can use this? So basically priority queue has a property for min heap especially, that the top element will always be the minimum one, right? So can't I just put these elements on order of their frequency, and whenever I have a heap that is becoming more than k, right, then I pop out the minimum one. Okay, so I'll just tell it again. Basically the intuition is I'll have a heap with a size of k, right, with a size of k, and I will put elements in the order of their frequency. I'll put elements in the order of the frequency. Why I'll do that? Because I want to create a heap so that when I do a poll, right, when I do a poll, it should pick out the element with minimum frequency. It should pick out the element with minimum frequency. That is it. If I do that, then my heap will be having the element with the largest frequencies, right? Because I have already removed the one that is at the least frequencies, correct? Okay. So now how will I write this? So basically, in order to do frequency mapping, right, in order to do a frequency mapping, we can simply use the map dot get or default or map dot merge API or function, a method provided by hash map, right? So either I can use map dot merge, or I can use map dot put value comma map dot get or default value comma 0 plus 1, right? Or I can use value comma 1 comma integer sum. These two I can use for frequency mapping. I think this one is the one that is faster comparatively than this, right? Second thing is I want to have a priority queue that will store the map dot entry, right? So it will be integer, comma integer. And how will it store? It will store in a minimum heap fashion for the values of the map, because the value is the frequency. So it will store the value of the map. So a comma b, the first thing. If I just want frequency, or sorry, a min heap that stores the elements in a ascending order, I can just do a minus b. But here what I want to do is a dot get value, because what I want is to store the frequencies in minimum, so that whenever I do a poll, it will just poll out the one with minimum frequency, right? Okay, fine. So now what will I do? So first my frequency mapping will look like this, and I'll start adding these numbers to my heap memory, heap, right, mini heap. So first 1 will be added, then second 2 will be added, then 3 will be added, and every time when I add, I'll check if the size is greater. So if the size, now the size when I add third element, right, will be greater than k, then I will do a poll. What poll will do? It will find out the entry in the priority queue where the frequency is the minimum. So what it will do is it will poll out 3. So what will be remaining? 1 and 2. And then I can just loop around or iterate over this PQ, and I can poll out every number and just get the keys from the priority queue and just return the answer, right? Okay, so I'll just show you the solution. Maybe solution again. So I used map get or default. I have already used merge, and I have seen that merge gave a better performance. So yeah, anyway, then I have the priority queue main core of this question, where I am creating a priority queue which will store the minimum frequency on top, correct? Then I'll just offer every element, and whenever the size becomes more than k, I'll just poll the minimum entry, right? The minimum entry will be always the one with least frequency. So the topmost k elements will be there in the min heap. Then I'll just iterate over my min heap, and I'll just add it in the result, and I'll just return the result. Simple enough. Right. So this is the one of the again use case of min heap. Again, it's related to top k elements, or largest k elements, or things like that, right? I mean, questions like that. Yeah. So what I just want to say is that whenever you see a question with k in it, think about if you can use priority queue. Especially most of the question can be solved using min heap, right? We will continue using min heap in our series, right? And we'll continue seeing the pattern. Just remember this part, I mean, understand this part. If you want to remember, you can remember also, but just understand this part where how the top element of a priority queue is decided. Okay, see you on the next video. Thank you.